Yes, there are many differences between solfeggio tones, frequencies, and scales, and a lot we could talk about in regards to music theory in general. However, the important thing I think to note from that I have noted, I should say, for myself, is that these numbers are important and can be used for different purposes if we understand that frequency. Now, having said that, everything vibrates. If I haven't posted it yet, but Hermetic Law of Vibration should be posted quite soon. Regardless, everything vibrates. Nothing remains still ever. Let's move on to a different scale, a pentatonic scale, which is often used for improvisation in blues or jazz. It contains 5 notes instead of 6, and these 5 notes are evenly spaced and span the whole octave. Now, in evaluating this, some may say, no, you're wrong. The actual distance is not evenly spaced at all. And in a sense, you're right. But let's try to look at it in a different way. Sure, some are spaced with a whole step, others with a whole and a half step. So yes, viewing it that way, I'm totally wrong. If we can look at it in a more binary or flowing nature, though, also cyclical, we can begin to understand why I stated evenly spaced. We can evaluate the pattern, for example, of the distances between each note, 1.5, 1, 1, 1.5, 1, which spans the octave. And I would very much enjoy reading any mathematical or numerological evaluations of this scale from anyone in comments below. The pentatonic scale is often used on top of a very simple rhythm, one that may be hypnotic or meditative, even trance-inducing, for example. And we should all maybe learn more of time signatures and how they're used with BPMs, beats per minute, and also in union with a general understanding of frequencies expressed in hertz or cycles per second, because all of these are factors in sound, along with many other variables and functions, such as waveform addition. And yes, we can perform mathematical operations or equations even, and do further evaluation on entire waveforms. We can do that by themselves, but we can also factor in other sources or sets of waveforms which are all around us. So people play, or play with might be a better way to put it, or even pray with, depending. Anyway, they play with this scale on top of a simple rhythm, commonly, or by using no background at all, other than the natural ambiance present at the time. We could use this scale and write down specific patterns to use, or we could simply know the note positions, depending on the instrument, of course, and feel it. Let it come in. Let it flow out of us naturally. My opinion is that these are both some of the best types of musicians that can do this. But also, these same people are very strongly connected with divinity and union with all. If we were to look at some ancient tribal customs, often they began and still do, in fact, perhaps with a few words or an initial invocation, usually delivered by a master leader or tribal leader, sage, or the like. Anyways, then the simple rhythm would begin and would remain typically throughout. And after certain barks reach their proper desired state of connection, they would begin their flow. And modern improvisational musicians, poets, preachers, politicians even alike do the same. And yes, the voice is an instrument, right? And the words can be considered as notes, and we feel them too. And they may, in fact, be considered symphonies in themselves, these words. The number 5 for me, if we plot the common decimal system on a wave, for example, the direct balance, right? Or the middle point, or the place where we have the most choices of which direction we should go next. I want to thank you all for listening today. Please subscribe if you're inclined, and have a lovely rest of your day or evening.